Okay, here is a close-up of the RS978 transceiver. It's somewhat of a QRP transceiver. It goes up to around 8 watts. I got this at Ham 2 years ago. Some guy out in the flea market had it up sitting on the back of his truck. It was the only thing in the back of his truck, and I bought it. And since then I like it, but it has come with a little bit of buyer's remorse, but I'll go over some of the finer points, the things I like about it, and things I don't. And today is a really good time to try to operate on CW because the bands are really challenging, and I can show you how this unit really shines with CW in a way. And but let's go ahead and look at the audio. Let's go to single sideband. So you switch through the bands up here. So we're at 14. Let's go down to 40. And your mode button's here. I think we're at CW, so we want to go to lower sideband. And then the step buttons over here that take you through these values. So I want to go quickly up to the single sideband section. And that was my GMRS radio you heard in the background. So okay, that's good. So we'll go back to here, try to find some people talking.
Located here, Central Virginia, a little bitty country town called Palmyra. We're located between.
Now I do have this going through an external speaker. The speaker on this is not great, as you'd expect from a very small radio. But even with but going through external speaker and headphones, it sounds quite good. So this is your noise reduction, notch filter, and some little special tools like that. I press it once. It's a noise reduction. Here's your value. You see the value move there. The noise reduction, digital noise reduction on this is pretty impressive. I put it right up there with the Yaesu FT891. Then as I press it, you look here, it goes to DSP plus notch plus NOTC, not sure what that is. Then a manual notch, which comes in very handy for CW, which I'll show you here in a little bit. And then an envelope filter, and then off. So today, I'm going to the Parks on the Air page. Let's see where all the action's at. Seems to be on 20 meters today. Not many people's on 40. So 20 meter CW, let's see if we can find a channel. So I want to go, we're in the right band we want. I want to hit the step button back over to quickly get down to the lower portion of the band. And then let's see if we can find one of these stations. This is Ohio. And Colorado. Now let's go to CW mode. So I'll hit the mode. Now we're at CW. And let's see here. What else we have? Kansas. And what I did here at the bottom, I just took one of those $20 iambic paddles off eBay and put some magnet, little metal discs, so I have magnets to stick on there. Now, if I want to turn on or off break-in, there's no button on the panel that can do that. I hit menu, go down to the second one, go down here, and it says second to the bottom, transmit disable. It's off. So I hit transmit disable on, so break-in's turned off, so I can operate like that. Now let's see. While I'm kind of scanning the band for any activity, I'd like to just quickly talk about the menu. This is a very tinker-friendly radio. Goes into levels of understanding that I am just not there. I can get into certain levels of complication. I mean, I've had experience in photography and music editing, but some of these menus going with the power section, it's just way over my head. But as you go into the menus, you have this main selection here, and then it says show. So I use the knob I'm turning now to go to one of these selections, and then if I want to open it, I go to the knob over, turn it down, opens that whole sub menu, and I go down to that. So you can change a lot in here. I just know enough to just operate, and apparently with these radios, you need to go in and set all the PA biases and levels like that. So when I bought this radio from that ham in Dayton, I just trusted that he had everything set. So CW's been pretty good. Single sideband, I have made contacts. I have made contacts in Europe on voice, but usually I don't get very good audio reports. Maybe because it's just simply QRP, but maybe it's because I set the PA bias is set wrong. But I mainly use this for CW, but I do carry a mic if I'm going out doing some POTA, just to have some voice capabilities. But let's see. Oh, I said all the action's on 20. Why am I at 40? Duh. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, this is a Parks on the Air station. It is WQ0A in US 2340 in Kansas. Alright, so I'm going to try to make a contact with this person. So I need to turn the break-in on. So I hit the menu button. Oh, it's break-in is on. Okay. Now I have to listen for a second to tell who's sending and who's hunting. That's not me. He's very faint down in there. This is a good time since this guy at the park is pretty faint. Let me show you some of these filters. So here's the noise reduction, and you can go in, we can go in and zoom in on the waterfall. So I'll go down to here and oh no, that's not it. I can zoom in on the waterfall, then exit. You can see it's zoomed in a lot more down there. So if I press and hold this bandwidth, it'll let me change. So that's sounding good. So I'm going to quick press this again to get me out of there. So I'm going to set it there. Now when he comes back, I'm going to select the peak envelope filter, and this is really, it makes me like this radio. If it didn't have the really nice bandwidth. And here we go. There's the peak. Gotta wait till he comes back. The Yaesu FT91 has one very similar. That's kind of why I really like this in a way, because it has a lot of the same filtering as the FT891. Alright, we're going to leave it there on that peak filter. Now I'm going to try to get this station. And while you're looking up here, there's volume. You can do the bass and treble up here, which is pretty cool. Actually, the treble is way low. And these little buttons here toggle between all this stuff. AGC, RIT, words per minute, all that good stuff. Mic gain. Now this is a touchscreen. Some of the things can operate like a touchscreen, like here SWR. If I touch it, it's audio levels, ALC, back to SWR, and I can kind of fast forward to the place on the band I want, and you can do some other things. I don't really use it all that much, but it's nice to know that you can do that if that's something you like. Let's see if we can make a contact after this guy. Nope. Well, while we're waiting for that contact to wrap up, I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out of this waterfall and close out of that menu. Now, one thing about this that I do not like for CW is, well, first of all, sometimes if I have break-in turned on and I plug in my key, sometimes it'll just lock on the transmit. Just that red light's on, it's just transmitting, and you can't stop it by pressing any button. You have to just pull the key back out or pop the battery out. It's really weird. And there's been one other time it's locked up on me, and so it's a little glitchy. Now when I send through paddles, I've tried different paddles, they all work good. Now if I send through a straight key, there's a delay in that first, I don't know what makes a difference, but when I have it in straight key mode and I key it down, that first dot, the first dit, it's silent. Or if I hit a DA, it takes halfway through the DA before it starts transmitting. Really weird. So when I send with a straight key, I might be able to show it. I don't know if we have time, but I just tap it and then start sending. So it's like that tap kind of opens the gate so I can start sending. Not a problem like that with my Yaesu FT91, but it is with this with straight key. But for some reason, using the paddle works just fine. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Might have to find another station. Alright, so that was a success. Let me just write that time down real fast so I can log that properly. Let's 10:06. Okay. So it works just fine, and I was on 5 watts. I wasn't at full power. I usually run it at 5 watts. I have a lot of luck with it. I've got on to like Kiwi SDR to kind of see what I'm sounding like getting out there. I haven't tried the voice yet, but with CW, and yeah, the little thing kicks like that. So I'm keeping this video really simple, not going into the deep fine details. But what I like about it is it does all of the filtering, including that nice envelope filter that my Yaesu FT891 does. The only thing it doesn't do that the 891 does that I really like is the like a contour curve. Like you can have a negative downslope contour curve or going up. I use the one going up curve on the 891 to really bring in faint CW signals. But getting around the bands is okay. There's no recording. You can't record like CQ parks on the air, CQ parks on the air. It's all you have to manually send everything. The waterfall is quite nice. You can change the colors and all that, and as you saw, you can zoom in, zoom out. Super cool like that. The only problem is the sound. If you're doing single sideband work and you're outdoors, there's a noisy environment, the volume kind of maxes out. So I use like a what do we got here? Like a little external speaker here. Now this is the battery I normally take with it. I'm not using that battery now, but I have it on hand. I'm using the built-in battery at this point. But that battery I take with it is a 12.4 volt, 6 amp hour, and it works great. I was going to show you that problem with the straight key. Might as well do it since my camera hasn't ran out of batteries yet. So let me turn it back on. And I'm going to make sure break-in's turned off. Down here. There we go. So it won't start sending as soon as I plug it in. And then I gotta switch to straight key, so unplug that so I don't annoy you. Hide. Go into CW menu. And go to, there's iambic A, B, straight key. So we got straight key. Go in here. Oh. The polarity's reversed on this key. That's unfortunate. Maybe I have a quick fix here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe. I think I found a solution here. Give me just a second. Let me plug this in here. And okay. That's not working either. Okay. Alright, so bring the straight key in. I have it on straight key. So see what I'm saying? If you can hear that, let me turn the volume up a little bit. There's no dot. But if I hold it longer, it'll eventually break through. So if I'm doing like a U, it cuts out that first dot, which is super annoying. Like I said, no problem with the paddles, but just only on straight key. So I'm just kind of used to going, anytime I'm sending anything, I will go, like saying best, I'd go. So I always just do a quick tap before I start sending. because at first it doesn't do anything. Super weird, right? But that is my big gripe about that. So if I forgot anything that I want to include, I will include it in the notes. But we'll take a look at the side here. And then over here. I don't know if I'm doing it. My camera stopped recording, so that was a kind of a weird cut there, but let me get some extra light on this thing here. So here's some of the... Sure it's kind of in focus enough to see what it is. Anyway, that's where the power goes in right there. And yeah, that's about it for the video there. Sorry for that weird ending. My camera just stopped right at the very end, so it gave me that awkward ending. But anyway, the RS978, love it or leave it.